Hello everyone, I am the keynote speaker Chengjian Chen. In this class, we will learn the retouching techniques of black and white portraits. Now we are in Hazy Ace ACR. We open a portrait photo taken in an indoor studio. This is an artistic portrait with dramatic lighting. If we turn it into a black and white photo, it will have a stronger artistic appeal. Throughout history, many Hollywood portrait films, including many portrait photos and artistic portraits of film and television stars, are presented in black and white images. Because of the black and white can make the picture more simple, more elegant, and concise, in more artistic atmosphere and light effect. Therefore, the expression method of black and white artistic portrait, a very common way of expressing tone. In this class, we will mainly learn how to make black and white portraits. The picture we are looking at now, its exposure and contrast are relatively standard, so we can directly enter the production of black and white. On the homepage of ACR there is a configuration file. We click on Browse Configuration Files. Here we can see a group of black and white configuration files. In this group, there are dozens of black and white effects for us to choose. If on your computer when you click on this black and white configuration file, you see not the thumbnail, but a grid instead, then we can click these 3 dots, more configuration options. Click it. Check the grid. If you check the list, it will be presented in text. If you want to see thumbnails, you can check the grid. Then among these default configuration files you think black and white contrast, black and white tone, that is relatively suitable. We can choose a black and white tone from many. Choose a one with moderate light and dark contrast, or one that meets your creative needs. For example, black and white 0 had brighter faces. I think black and white 3 is more suitable. After selecting it, we can also adjust the strength of quantity to modify the black, white, and gray. After we finish modifying the quantity, we can click one step to enter the editing panel. In the editing panel, we can not only in the basic options to adjust the brightness of the photo, contrast, and so on. There is a more important step is to adjust the black and white mixer. Click this. To expand all options, we can control the black, white, and gray in the photo. To control the black, white, and gray in the photo, for example, the switch is originally red and the skin is yellow. If you want to make the red a little darker, we can reduce the brightness of red. As you can see, the red in the background and the lips will be lower in brightness. So, the contrast between black and white will be stronger. If you want to make the skin a little darker, we can also reduce the brightness of orange and the brightness of yellow. If you don't know what color the skin is exactly, we can choose this target adjustment tool, select it, and then go to the picture. Click on the area where you want to modify the brightness. Hold down the left mouse button and drag it. As you can see, in red have changed slightly. That means his face has not only orange. In the slight red color, there is no yellow at all. But it seems that our skin has a yellow color. So judging colors with the eyes may lead to an incorrect adjustment. Therefore, using the target adjustment tool to select a color and adjust its brightness is the most accurate. So color adjustment cannot rely solely on vision and experience, but rely more on scientific tools to make a reasonable choice and judgment, then make the correct adjustment. Usually any color needs to be converted to black and white. Besides choosing a reasonable configuration file, we also need to adjust brightness and contrast to control the exposure and contrast of the photo. The most important thing is to use the black and white mixer to change the skin of people's clothing and the environment's brightness to achieve a reasonable and effective tone. This is the best way to make a black and white photo. Black and white photos with natural transition when we make the black and white drinks to a relatively ideal state. Finally, we look at the histogram. The dark part of the histogram should not have this white warning, and the highlights can't have a white warning. If there is a warning, it means there are areas of complete blackness. At this time, we can use the curve. We can select the darkest part of the curve. The input value is in 0, and set the output value 23. As you can see, this dark part, the white warning, just disappears. This means that the dark areas are not completely black. This ensures that when the photo is printed, the dark areas are not black. The above content is the most basic and common method and the most commonly used method. Okay, that's all for this class. See you in the next class.